Hello everyone, I'm here today to talk about In Ascension by Martin MacInnes, and this is part of the Booker 2023. This book is about Lee, who is a woman from Rotterdam, a marine biologist, and we met her first when she goes into an expedition in a boat to the middle of the ocean, when there is this mysterious place where there seems to be like a really deep hole, and they are trying to gather data with a submarine into this area and how deep it's supposed to be, and if there is any samples or anything that gives any thought on anything. It's kind of like a side note on the story, but then she goes, years later in her life, she goes to live in the US in this sort of base that wants to use her knowledge on algae and how to grow algae to use them in a space mission. And it's at the beginning it's not very clear what this space mission is about, but then it becomes clear as the book goes on. And it is a sci-fi novel basically, but it's very introspective and slow in pace, and it has different themes that we look into. So we have space exploration, space contact with other alien forms of life, or potential of. It has themes of sisterhood and like mother-daughter relationships, because Lee's mother is degrading, let's say. She's developing some kind of dementia or something, and it also looks into the work-life balance, because this job for her is very demanding, but of course her mother is in a situation in which it's difficult for her to deal with it, and yeah, basically that's what the book is about. And then, as I said, it's a very slow, character-driven book. I mean, of course there is a plot, because there is a plot, but yeah, it is mostly character focused, and there are things that I liked about that. I did enjoy the book quite a lot. I like the slowness of it, and I like the exploration of the different themes. I think it was really well done, and I think the language was also very nice. I read this on audio, so I don't know if it happens to anybody else, but on audio I don't get into the language as much, maybe, but from the audio experience it was still quite literary. It was a literary sci-fi, and I really enjoyed it, but for me, I mean, a lot of people have been putting this in a pedestal, and honestly I just don't get the hype around it. I think it's a good book and I really enjoyed it. I just don't think it's like the best book I've read this year or anything like that. So I think I was a little bit disappointed by the hype, not by the book itself, but by the hype. There was one thing I didn't like about the audiobook, and that's exclusively audiobook related. So, well, not exclusively, but mostly. So the book is like the main protagonist is from Rotterdam, and so especially at the beginning there is quite a lot of talk about Dutch things, like the waterschap and stuff like that, and the narrator pronounced them in a very English way, which bothered me a lot. Like, instead of waterschap, they said waterschaft, which honestly just sounds like when you put a Dutch direction in an English-speaking Google Maps, and then it gives all the wrong names in the directions. So that was bothering me, because I think that was not that difficult to fix. I also didn't think that Lee was a particularly Dutch-sounding name, but that might just be me. So yeah, I didn't quite get why this protagonist needed to be from Rotterdam, and then all of these things just didn't make sense. And they could have also found someone to narrate the book that actually could pronounce the Dutch words properly. So yeah, that annoyed me, and I know it's a small thing, and I know it's mostly just at the beginning when she's still like in Rotterdam quite a lot, but that annoyed me. And yeah, like as I said, overall the book was good. I just don't get the overall hype. And if you're in the fence, if you want to read it or not, this, to me, it gave the vibe of Our Wives Under the Sea. It's quite a different book, but it gives that sense of foreboding quite a lot in the plot and in like the atmosphere. The atmosphere is quite interesting as well. So it's somewhere between Our Wives Under the Sea and The Circle to me, like that super oppressive atmosphere. So yeah, if you liked any of those two books, you probably will like this. But as I said, not the best book in the world. So yeah, those are my thoughts in Ascension by Martin MacInnes. Let me know if you have read it, what you thought about it. Let me know if you are planning to read it, or if you are interested in any other book from the Booker long list. And until next video, bye!